What's up, future millionaires? MTI here. Now, the Animal Farm launched the first of this month, and we've only seen an increase in the TVL, total value locked, and also we've only seen an increase in the dogs token. Now, a lot of people thought we were just going to see a huge pump in the price of drip once the Animal Farm launched. However, there is something exceptionally important that I think a lot of people just may be overlooked or may be unaware of that affects the drip token and the faucet. So yes, I'm going to show you an update on the faucet, the garden, and the dog pound, but I want to first touch on the importance of the tax vault and what's been happening since the Animal Farm has been launched. So first and foremost, let's briefly touch on the tax vault for those people that may be unaware. Now, the tax vault is what holds the drip tokens to pay out that 1%, as people are selling. Now, if there's not enough drip tokens in the tax vault, the smart contract will automatically mint more drip tokens to pay out that 1%, which over time kind of inflated the total supply from where it currently started. Now, if we briefly look over here at Dune, actually before we go to Dune, because I'm going to show you how the tax vault has increased in drip, but if you look over at BSC scan here, you can see the total supply is a little bit over 3.2 million drip tokens. However, 3.2 million drip tokens is still considerably less compared to almost 90% of the crypto market. However, the total supply actually started at 1 million. So you can see the smart contract had to mint about 2.2 million tokens to keep paying out that 1%. But on the bright side, you can see the smart contract was working the entire time, which is how it was designed. Now, if we head over to Dune here, right? I'm not going to get into all of these numbers here, but I want to go down and show you the tax vault. Now, as you can see, the tax vault is going to be down here. It says blue, but it's like a darker greenish color, right? So if you look here on the 30th, you can see the tax vault, there's only 21 drip tokens, right? Now you can see the 31st, there's 3,100 drip tokens. The first, you can see there's over 16,000 drip tokens in the tax vault. We go to the next day, 42,000. We go to the third, 39,000. And then as of today, right now, there's around 34,000 drip tokens compared to, as you can see, there was really no drip tokens like that in the vault to at least keep up with the selling that was happening. And so what happened was when you increase the total supply, what that does is it makes it a little bit harder for the price of drip to go up. But now, since the tax vault has been keeping enough drip to not be able to mint tokens according to Forex, if we look right over here on Twitter here, you can see not a single new drip has been minted since Animal Farm launched, just the beginning. And this is also at the lower emission. So if the tax vault no longer has to mint tokens, which inflates the supply, that means now it can stabilize the supply, and over time with the mechanics, with the burning of the faucet, hopefully that will start to decrease the supply over time, which would mean less tokens on the market, more supply and demand, which would mean over time that price should start to increase just by those mechanics. Now, I do want to say I believe lending and scratchy is what's going to give us our true momentum swing when it comes to the price, but I believe we needed the Animal Farm, that foundation in here, to really keep that tax vault solid and to keep that faucet going for a very long time. So in my opinion, let's do a quick run through of what we just talked about. The tax vault, of course, is what pays out that 1% in drip tokens, right? Well, now that we have the new adjustment for the drip BUSD LP farm, the 1% in, 2% out on deposits and withdrawals, that's why we've been adding more drip to the tax vault, which means the smart contract no longer, long as it stays enough, no longer has to mint drip tokens, which means it can stabilize our supply and hopefully over time start to decrease that supply again. And then that means supply and demand, a higher drip price over time because there's less drip tokens. So this is why the tax vault is so important. We don't want the tokens to be minted if we can help it, which means this can be bullish for the long term. So I just wanted to kind of touch on why the tax vault is so important, and I wanted to kind of show you the numbers of it as well on that graph so you can see how the drip has actually increased in the tax vault since the Animal Farm has been launched. And this is why the animal farm is just one of the first key pieces to keep building out this ecosystem. Now, let's go ahead and dive into a quick overview of the faucet here. We can see the current price around drip is around $4.78. Now, if we head on over to the faucet, you can see I got around 3,678 drip, which is right around 17.5. Now, of course, this price here can be higher or lower when you see this video. If we head on over to the animal farm here, we got about 116.3 million BUSD total value locked. And if you look right here, you can see pigs is at 114, dogs is around 52. We head on over to the drip garden here, just to briefly show you. You can see I have about 7.2 million plants. And again, I am still just compounding. We head over to drip.formulate, 7.2 million plants at about a 7.46 LP ratio. And you can see I make about 242,000 plants a day. So almost 250,000 plants a day. So looking to get to that 1 million plant a day eventually. But right now we're still just going to be compounding. Now, if we head back over to the animal farm here, let me close out of this wallet, connect to my other wallet here. And what we're going to do, we're going to head to the dog pound. And here's my 22.49 drip. And remember, if I go over to here, you can see, remember, I put 1,000 into dogs at 43.86. If we go back over to the animal farm, we can see the price has only increased, which I expected it to do. As I mentioned in previous videos, I said I expect to see an increase in the dog token over time, which is what we've been seeing, a nice steady incline, which is what you want. So as we move down here, based off of my 22.49 dogs I have staked in the auto compounding pool, I have about 0.02 LPs of the dog BNB LP. So what I would have to do, because essentially what I thought was it will actually take this and put it into the farms for us. But I believe we're going to have to actually withdraw this ourselves, go to the farms, and actually put it in here ourselves, because you can see there's nothing staked here, right? But in the dog pound, it shows I have 0.02 of this LP. So it looks like we're gonna have to withdraw that and then put it in here, unless that's part of the UI fixing that Forex said they're going to be doing. There's quite a few UI things they're going to be fixing with the dog pound and with the animal farm, but everything is working. And so if you look right here, let's go ahead and look at the details. There's about 5 million total liquidity in this drip BUSD LP farm. And again, as I mentioned, you got the 1% in, 2% out, which is adding more drip to the tax vault, right? So I just wanted to kind of show you what's going on with the dog pound. Right now, like I said, this is kind of just a set and forget right now, just letting dogs kind of do its thing. I probably will acquire more dogs down the road, but right now I just wanted to kind of put in 1,000, kind of see what happens. My main focus though is getting this wallet here to that max wallet, and this is about 6 months away. So I believe the 1st of June, I will be at a max wallet. So about 7 months, give or take. And so that's the first goal, first and foremost, is getting this first wallet to that maxed out wallet. And then I'll be working on my second and third. So I just wanted to give you all a brief update on kind of what's been going on. Oh, and I forgot to actually mention something real quick. Let me go over to Telegram. So if you look at Forex calls, for those that may be wondering, there was a 2 million BUSD Pigpen BUSD injection, which is the first of many. And if you listen to what Forex says right here, remember that the dividends in the Pigpen come from the dog sales, AFD, lending and deposit withdrawal fees. So the divs being paid out now are only from 1 day worth of deposits, because no one is selling AFD now, and we haven't begun the injection for BUSD earned from version 2 lending. Now he goes on to say that we will be having a vote soon where Pigpen stakers will vote on how often injections happen, and that it will be automated based on this vote. There was also a 250,000 dog buyback. You can see a million BNB in value injection into the dog pound as well. And you can see there was about 6.8 million worth burn locking in liquidity forever for dogs as well. So you can see This is why that dog price is constantly going up on top of people buying it as well. So again, a lot of people may just overlook the tax vault, or maybe they just didn't understand the mechanics of how the tax vault actually work, which definitely affects the drip price over time, and it also affects the drip faucet longevity. And so one thing I want to touch on before we get out of here, if you look at dripcommunity.wiki, this is kind of what we have to expect coming up for the additional utilities and developments for the ecosystem. Now, the auto compounding pig pen is actually going to be moved around the new drip UI time. So he's focusing on the gamified dog roulette and the Stargate lending, which he mentioned in the Telegram voice chat. And then he will be working on the new drip UI. Then Scratchies will be launching. So this is kind of what we have to expect, for the rest of this year. Dogs Roulette gamified, the new drip UI, Scratchies launch, and then that Stargate lending, which will probably come around the gamify of dogs or a little bit before. All right, so if you gained some value from this video and I helped the tax vault make a little bit more sense to you, definitely smash that like button, comment, subscribe. And before we get out of here, I briefly want to mention I'm going to be doing an AMA this upcoming Monday live at 2 p.m. Central Time with the co-founder of the project called 𝗟𝗘𝗗𝗏, which is basically a passive income project. We're going to be going into big detail of what's going on. So if you've never heard of the project, or maybe you heard of it and you want a little bit more detail, this will be a great AMA to come on, because he's going to do a whole presentation of what the project is, what they're going to be doing in the future, and then we will also be having community questions as well, so everyone can get their questions answered. And I'm also going to be touching on this project briefly in the future as well, because I definitely like what they're doing, and I do think it's a great project to help supplement the passive income you're already building. So be sure to tune into the AMA this upcoming Monday, and I will catch you all on the next update.